Today's show was recorded live at the Refinery, Charleston's hub for creative industry. Go to the refinerychs.com to get events, venue, and contact information. Now on with the show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Shrimp City Report. My name's Devin. I'm here joined with DJ. How you doing?
Doing good.
Excellent. So today we have a special experience. We have Darren Hartford from Oliver Pluff and Company. He is a tea salesman, or he has a place. Darren, do you want to kind of describe what...
I own a tea company,
but, okay,
and a coffee company, and a toddy company. Oliver Pluff tells the story of historic American beverages.
Okay. Yeah, we saw that on the website, and it's very interesting. And, we're definitely going to get into discussing the historical aspect of it, your tea offerings and everything, the cool names and the cool packaging and everything. But also today we have a special treat because we're actually having a tea tasting.
Yeah.
And we haven't had one of those before. And
it smells amazing in here.
Tasting on podcast. It's perfect.
It smells amazing. Not that anyone can.
Right.
Smell-o-vision has it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trust us, it looks beautiful as well. And we will have some photos and some little video clips on Instagram and whatnot. So we thought tea is a no-brainer in Charleston. It is the South. And we do consume tea, but tea's ubiquitous around the world, right?
Second most popular drink.
Okay. What's the first? Water.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. You've just poured us some tea.
I just poured you the most popular tea in early America.
Oh, really?
Colonial boohie.
Oh, okay.
It was so popular back in the 1700s. It was the nickname for tea.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was, you'd walk into a tavern or a tea shop and ask for a cup of boohie, and they'd give you whatever they had in stock.
Oh,
okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I'm smelling a smoky smell.
That's what, yeah.
Yep.
It almost smells savory, kind of,
Yeah. So boohie was a combination of a couple of different teas. It comes from the Wuyi region of China, when the Dutch and the British East India Company brought it over, they heard Wuyi as boohie, and so that's what it got its name as.
Okay.
But this was, if you look at the Boston Tea Party ships, more chests of boohie were thrown in the harbor than any other.
With it being named boohie and almost being like a traditional name, or being like a conglomerate name for tea, is it still what it was when it was first made in China?
If you were to order a boohie nowadays, it'd have a different flavor than this. So this is what we can recreate from merchant records of the day. We know it came from the Wuyi region of China. We know it came from that province.
Okay.
And so that's all in the merchant records. So tea, yes, China started exporting tea. Japan closed itself off. Japan got its tea from China. So, but about the 1600s, Japan was closed off for export. So China was exporting tea. That's where all the tea came from. That's why a lot of my products do get imported from China. But India didn't start producing tea. That's the other big tea exporting country until the 1800s, when the British stole the secret of tea and then started growing their own tea plantations around the country of India.
Okay.
Wow.
So the East India Company was a juggernaut. Pretty much equal to a country, right? As far as how they exploit, or they got their they got their wares from folks. So China, I guess China had a lot of varieties coming out, right?
Right. And they still do. It is, Chinese teas get their names from either the region they come from, the shape of the leaf, if what the leaf reminds people of, whether it's a monkey's paw or silver needles, or even there's a mustache one, basically. So it's all based on the look of the tea or where it comes from. I sell a Singlo tea, which means mountain tea. So I sell a Hyson tea, which is a garden tea.
Right.
So those are how Chinese teas tend to get their name.
So what made you want to dive into tea? I guess I mean, all this knowledge and history, was that established before you started the brand?
So the brand started about 2009. The guy who founded it got burnt out about 2017, 18. Mm-hmm. About that same time, I got out of the Air Force. I retired after a 28-year career, ended up as a one-star general, and didn't know what I wanted to do with my life.
Yeah.
So after a few months of sitting on the couch, talking to some mentors and some friends, I decided to buy a company.
Yeah.
So I went business shopping. And there was air quotes there for those of you who can't see it. And it was just I found a brand that I liked. I liked the branding. I liked the product. While I wasn't very knowledgeable, I make the joke, I drank a lot of bad coffee in my time in the Air Force. Most of it made by me.
Right.
And then I like potential.
Yeah.
It was online. We sell to a lot of historic sites and national parks around the country.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's a great idea.
So if you go to Colonial Williamsburg.
I was about to say, they probably bend over backwards.
Yeah.
Well, they order enough for me that I need to work on my flexibility.
Okay.
So Colonial Williamsburg, the Biltmore, Mount Vernon, Yosemite, all carry my products in custom packaging.
That's fantastic.
Yes. So we kind of hit on it earlier then. You're kind of striving for like preservation with the actual like tea formula as well, right?
Right. So we work to, where we can, go back to the original provinces and where we have the recipes, go to the recipes. But my view of history is it shouldn't limit us. It should be a springboard to exploration.
Yeah.
So you take Boohee as a starting point. I also sell a tea called Whiskey Rebellion. I partner with Highwire Distillery, and I age some tea in a whiskey barrel, and I'll pick up the flavors and aroma of the whiskey. And so with we call it a Whiskey Rebellion, but it's about telling the story of the Whiskey Rebellion tea. And bourbon being what it is in the food industry now, just becomes, a bourbon flavored tea.
Yeah, it's also a good mechanism to teach people history and know that, how the Whiskey Rebellion came about, how it was put down by the government.
Did you know George Washington ended up being the largest whiskey producer in Virginia?
No,
for his presidency.
But wasn't he part of the force that went in to stop the Whiskey Rebellion?
He led it.
That's what I thought.
I think I remember reading something recently where there was like a liquor cabal between most of like the fathers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cabals between the founding fathers.
Man, I love this tea. And I think, besides the fact that it's historically significant and all that, the flavor, I've only ever had a smoky tea once with like a lapsang souchong.
Very good.
So this is, that can be a little overpowering, but this is pretty cool.
So I'm making you all drink these teas that we're going to be sampling all black without any sugar or cream.
Good.
Or milk, sugar or milk to them. But a lot of folks I know who enjoy Boohee, it becomes an afternoon sipper for them with a little milk, a little sugar.
Absolutely.
You definitely see that.
It cuts
with a little bit of honey too or something. Yeah.
If that's your druthers, certainly.
Yeah, that would be very good with cream. Do we have another one that we want to give it a
We do.
shot?
So it is 5:30 or so in the afternoon or 6 o'clock when we're recording this. So I kind of went heavy on the caffeine-free varieties. Okay. This is just, part of what I say the company was founded on is what tea was thrown in the harbor for the Boston Tea Party, and then what they drink when they're done.
Yeah.
Right.
So that got us, we also carry a line of coffees and toddies, but then we have herbals. So this is peppermint. This is a Northwest U.S. grown peppermint that is I think that has a sharper bite.
Absolutely.
A lot of Egyptian style peppermints are almost buttery in their.
Wow.
So this one just has a nice, clean, sharp bite to it.
This is, as soon as my wife tries this is going to be everyone's cold and flu.
I think my sinuses just cleared instantly from the sip.
It's fantastic. And I do like the fact that we are sampling it without sugar and cream.
Yeah.
To actually get the taste of it.
Yeah. The herbals were one of those other things that the founders reverted to. Yes, John Adams made a famous claim that he was never going to drink tea again after the Boston Tea Party. Well, within 5 years, he was buying tea again.
Yeah.
You get over it. So, but herbals, backyard recipes, all were part of what the colonists ended up with.
A lot of people, I guess, consider herbal, perhaps, what do you call it when it's something, a medicine
medicinal
alternative?
Yeah.
So
a remedy is type of thing. We'd sell a line of colonial remedies where we just tell the history of lavender or peppermint or ginger or chamomile, and just what for centuries people have used them to clear what ails them.
So is peppermint? I never thought about this. Peppermint is native to U.S. then?
I believe it was, but it also was a European. But yes, but any mint, if a mint came over, mint is going to take over everything. And I don't know if you ever tried to grow mint in a herb garden. But
absolutely.
It spreads.
All those like rosemary and stuff like that does too. Yeah.
So was mint like a leading tea since it was so
it was just another one.
Okay.
It wasn't for your listeners who are tea purists. I do not consider myself a tea purist. They will say it's an herbal or a tisane. It's not a tea.
Okay.
But you'll notice that, I'm happy to call it a caffeine-free tea.
Right.
So that's just the classic nature of what tea was. So it's all good.
Good. I'm glad you're educating us to that. And it will be something that everyone that's listening will know next time we're at a party or a tea party or something like that. Or our fans that the only tea they understand is Bojangles and they're at the race.
So. There you go. The next one we have is cacao.
It smells like a warm cookie. It's wow. I can't believe that. Yeah.
Holy smokes, that is.
Or like a almost like a warm like chocolate muffin or something like that in the morning.
Amazing.
So it's the shell of the cocoa bean and no nibs, so no chocolate in it per se. It's just the shell, and so the reason my company carries this is we have documented records, or George Washington has documented letter to his merchant asking for 20 pounds of the shell of the chocolate that Martha loves so much for breakfast.
That is so good.
This is brilliant. I am absolutely blown away by this.
So it's if you drink it thinking it's going to be a hot cocoa, you're probably going to be disappointed because it's not that heavy. It's not that, the mouthfeel isn't right. It's light. It's like a tea. And so you get the flavors of chocolate. You get, some would say even a little fruit flavor as a tail end of it, but no calories, no caffeine.
You definitely get that like aftertaste, like savory, like cocoa, that you get like after eating chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm telling you, if this tea doesn't get you a house in Kiowa,
it is so good.
Nothing will, because this stuff is radical.
Does anyone ever mix the peppermint and the cocoa together?
Yes, we have. Okay. We sell cacao mint as a blend of this.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah.
I'm sure talking about toddies and, alternatives to Irish coffees and stuff like that, this stuff
that is really good.
Would be very good with certain concoctions. So.
Understood.
Hey everyone, we really want to encourage you to visit the Refinery in Charleston, South Carolina. The Refinery is a beautiful mixed-use facility that's home to upscale office space, 2 restaurants, the Limbo Lounge, and an amphitheater that hosts national, regional, and local acts year-round. We cannot recommend it enough. Go to therefinerychs.com to get event and venue information. You can also go to the site to learn how you can even book the spaces you want for your own event. So go check them out, and thanks.
So we'll jump over to toddy. Speaking of so everyone's had a hot toddy,
right?
Anyone who's been in the South, I'll have to say, has had a hot toddy.
Yes, sir.
So we did a takeoff of that, and we call them summer toddies. So we brewed up different flavors. I do have a line of hot toddies, a lemon ginger or an orange clove blend for hot toddies. It contains, if you open that up, you'll see spices in there. And so what you do, you just blend it, put the spices in so they'll express, get it, add some sweetener. I put some honey in here. And then this is undoctored, but after you're done with that, hot toddies do great with dark liquors.
Okay.
The bourbons, dark rums.
Yeah.
Summer toddies are meant for clear liquors. So if you want to do a gin, a vodka, or a tequila.
This is great. And it's subtle. It's and especially I like the biscuits a lot.
So or This one I like just
Gosh, refreshing.
Just a summer sipper.
It is, definitely.
So that's all an option for you as far as what we covered. Now, I do have one tea of the month that team wanted me to make sure I highlighted. It's our hibiscus mint.
Okay.
This is another hibiscus blend.
Beautiful color.
The hibiscus almost gives it like a citrus note on the front end. And then mixed with the mint, it's really like refreshing.
It does have a little bit of stevia in it, so it's got a little bit of sweetness to it.
That's fine. Too. I like it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool going from the toddy to the tea.
Yeah.
Because it's not like a drastic change in, taste or texture or flavor or whatever you want to have, but it's kind of cool. It's kind of like, how everybody's doing all those cold plunges now.
You can go back and forth between hot and cold all you want.
So tell me about this. You said that your people wanted you to feature the tea of the month. What goes into what teas y'all are going to do in the month? Do you sit around and have a little a boardroom review or something?
Research.
We are in-depth hours of AI research. Just using it's more or less. I have a lady who works for me who is kind of helping with marketing and running my e-commerce site, and she comes into my office and says, "Hey, how about this for the next tea of the month?" And I end up going, now sometimes it makes sense to do a certain tea.
Yeah.
As we get into the fall, we'll probably be doing more of trying to do some of the summer teas.
Okay.
We did blueberry over July.
Okay.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Hibiscus mint here. It's another one where you can drink it hot, but it's also one that you could let cool down. And
sure.
Drink it.
I mean, I can see almost all of these, at least a little bit.
Do y'all have any like specific showrunners that go throughout the year?
Well, English breakfast, Earl Grey, Boohee for us, as well as going in this time of year, we have what we call our holiday blend, which is a cinnamon orange spice.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Yeah. So those are all big sellers for us. And then our coffees, we have a bourbon vanilla coffee. I partner with a local roaster, and he makes a wonderful bourbon vanilla coffee that is just great. And so you can get all these either online. I have a lot of good partners around the city and area that carry my products. And then we also open up a storefront on 49 John Street.
Do y'all do like tastings and events for that?
We are just starting our tea classes.
Okay.
So in August, we're going to be doing a couple of sessions on, I call it Tea 4 Ways. It's about making the perfect glass of iced tea.
Okay.
We'll take a tea. I think this next week we'll do a passion fruit peach tea. I brew it hot for you. I'll also brew it as a traditional iced tea, and then we'll brew it as a sun tea. And then also I'll let you sample it as a cold brew tea.
That's smart because, historically hot tea is a big thing, but I'll be damned if you stop people from drinking iced tea in Charleston.
Right. And everybody has a favorite iced tea in the South. Usually it's some establishment or something, but I grew up, gosh, we probably drank a gallon of iced tea every 2 days.
There's lots of great brands that make great iced tea that families have a long tradition.
Yeah.
But you can make any tea as an iced tea. Even if it doesn't have the tea bag for you, you just brew loose for it and, use a filter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sweeten or not.
Yeah, I could see how, not so much maybe a hobbyist, but I can see how there would be new enthusiasts with the tea thing. So do you have a lot of repeat customers at the shop?
We're getting there. We've only been open for a couple of months.
Okay, cool.
So we're still getting the word out and getting people to think about hot, they think tea, they think hot tea.
Yeah.
Yes, other than iced tea, but their initial thought is hot tea. So we're still getting people aware where we're at and getting into the shop. Get a lot of tourists right now, but we do have some of the locals who come by and are very happy that they can look around and smell different teas and see different products.
Yeah. And I think when you get to the classes sound like an amazing idea. Word of mouth in Charleston is everything for a business. And once somebody tells somebody they did that at Thanksgiving, then, there's going to be 6 people at that dinner table that are going to want to come and take a class.
So we'll get into, I know I do have customers who say, hey, I'd love to get into loose tea. I just don't know how to make it.
Yeah.
We'll do, after get a little cooler weather, we'll start talking about the history of tea and how to make a perfect cup of tea.
So they grew tea in the Low Country, right? There was one variety.
They do.
They still do. Okay.
Yes. There are 2 farms in South Carolina that grow tea. One up in Table Rock, has a small tea farm up there. And then Bigelow owns the tea estates down on Wadala Island.
So Table Rock, I wouldn't think, as tea just, can you grow it anywhere?
Well, it likes certain type of soil. It likes certain type of weather conditions.
I guess when the climate, I'm sure Antarctica.
Now, because a lot of tea, if you go to Taiwan, even into India and China, tea is grown at elevation.
Wow.
So like 1,000 or 2,000 meters, so 3,000 to 4,000 feet is where tea is grown in that region of the world. And yes, there are some low-growing varieties, but tea has a terroir. So if I gave you, and that's one of the classes we'll do in the future, is we'll drink 4 different black teas from 4 different areas. And you will taste that, hey, this is a black tea. Okay. Matters which leaf it's pulled, matters which location it comes from, and you'll get a different taste out of that tea. So tea has a lot of depth to it. You can just sit and enjoy, as I have learned to do, but you can also get into, because you can control the water temperature, you control how long you steep it for, you control how much tea you put in the cup.
Okay.
And so you can make your own cup of tea and what you like.
Right, yeah.
Will be different than mine. Bourbon, yes, you can either put an ice cube in or a splash of water or not.
Yeah.
You're limited. But with tea, you can control a lot of different variables to figure out what you like and how you like it made.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think it's such a great idea. And there's a lot of makers or people that like to mess around. And there's so many new people that spend a lot of time in the kitchen or spend a lot of time making cocktails and coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer with, tea like this. So the Bowie is a revival tea, kind of. Yeah. So you also have that kind of, not a novelty, but it's something that's going to be, somebody's going to want in their kitchen to show off, probably.
Well, it's kind of unique with Boohee. I do get people who buy it for the novelty, but then all of a sudden discover, like you gentlemen both said you did, they discover they like it.
Yeah.
And so they become the repeat customers that everyone wants and loves.
Yeah.
I know that you just got the shop up, 2 months into it. You're going to do your classes. You're probably going to do some other stuff. How often do you go out to find new teas, and what's the research like if you want to start bringing in a new variety?
Well, some of it is a little bit of paying attention to the food market writ large.
Okay.
Like my Whiskey Rebellion tea that we created, that's just paying attention to the popularity of bourbon and bourbon scented and bourbon flavored items.
Okay.
So that was an outgrowth of that. While still and then figuring out, okay, what story do I want to tell with that? And so that's where we ended up telling the story of the Whiskey Rebellion.
Okay.
I have tea right now sitting in a rum cask. It's got about another few weeks until I find out if I did good or not.
Right.
Where we'll tell the story about piracy.
Okay.
That's kind of a local area, a rum flavored tea. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but we're going to try it. And so that's kind of one of those, let's throw up something against the wall and see.
Yeah.
I created, reading about elderberry and the rise of elderberry. Great. We created an elderberry blend of tea where you have elderberries, peppermint, lemon balm, and ginger, as well as elderflower. Kind of one of those make you feel better.
Sure.
Yeah. I remember reading one that I've been personally just wanting to look into is the pine teas that they used to make. Native Americans would make with like the ends of like pine trees.
Okay.
Yeah. It was supposed to be very like citrusy almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's another tea out there that I've carried in the past. I'm looking at carrying again. It's called Yopon, Hollybush.
Oh, cool.
And that's the tea that Princess Marion.
Oh, really?
Okay. So as we go into the 250th, trying to find those teas that help tell the story of the 250th celebration of the Declaration of Independence.
Right. Okay, that's perfect. There are holly bushes out there that I do believe have caffeine that people have made teas out of.
Yes.
So
it's the only native plant to the North America that has caffeine.
That's fantastic. And that you're doing that. So you're educating, you're making a cool product.
Having fun.
Yeah. Well, we had fun drinking some tea today and seeing how it was made and everything, broadening our horizons.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So what kind of plans do you have coming up? Anything else?
So we'll be also in the shop. We're going to be doing some gift baskets for the holidays, as well as any gifting all year round. We already have gift sets. We come in, buy a trio of teas or even higher end teas. We offer some higher end teas in the shop. But we'll also offer an opportunity to, someone who likes tea or wants to get into tea, a gift basket they can get for that, or you want to get into yourself. So that opportunity will be there.
Heck yeah. So we'll absolutely share your website and social media. What's your website?
OliverPluff.com.
Okay. So we'll share that out into the show notes.
Yep.
We'll accompany this with pictures and videos. Sorry, we can't accompany it with tea right now, but we can surely point you in the right direction for that. So
I really appreciate you all having me on, and I'm glad you enjoyed the tea. And anytime you want to come by the shop, I'd love to have you.
Excellent.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Y'all be good, and we'll see y'all next week. God bless.